Hey friends, welcome to the next episode of the Sunday Knitting Society podcast. My name is Chelsea and I'm a knitter in Oklahoma City. If you are, sorry, here we go. Okay. If you're new here, welcome. And if you come back, welcome back. So I know that the lighting is awful. I'm pretty sure the sound is going to be pretty bad too today. But it is just too beautiful for me to be outside, and so inside. So I am outside in my garden today. Lolly's out here too, so you'll probably see her sniffing around. It is a beautiful 63 degrees. It is sunny. We have had 2 weeks of rain. The last week it was literally like thunderstorms for 3 days straight. I think my little rain gauge, I think I got 8 inches of rain in the last 2 weeks. So the fact that it's sunny, just like, we had to be out here. My garden is chaotic. I've been slowly trying to get it back in a good place. Every year in the fall, I tell myself I'm gonna like clean everything up before the end of the season. I'm gonna take down all the old tomato plants and mulch it. Never happens. And so this spring I was like, oh, I have so many weeds to pull in this thing. So it's a pretty big garden. I can give you a little tour afterward of the I literally have a little garden bed over here that I call the bed of chaos because it is completely taken over by a tarragon plant and weeds. And I honestly don't know what to do with it. I have another tarragon plant over here, so I don't need it. This tarragon is like an absolute weed. And I bought a tarp. I think I'm just going to cut everything back and cover it with a tarp to try to get rid of the weeds. But yeah, so I'm really hoping I don't get eaten by mosquitoes while I'm out here, because that happens. This last week, man, has just been rough. It's just, I was kind of joking with somebody that it feels like a game of whack-a-mole, and I'm the mole. It was never like one particular thing, and nothing was like bad. It was just a bunch of little things, and it was like every time I got a minute to breathe, something else it just kept knocking me back. So this weekend is like, oh, it's just so good for my soul. I woke up early. I've already done almost all my chores for the week, and it is before 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. on Saturday. So feeling good. I cleaned out my house, my kitchen. I went through all of my old like beauty products that I don't use and got rid of them or put them in a bag for family members, and some of them I threw away. But yeah, it just feels good. I'm enjoying this lovely weather. I'm obviously not wearing any knits today. I'm wearing a shirt from one of my favorite coffee shops nearby called Stella Nova. Yeah, so I have done a little bit of knitting in the last 3 weeks. I'm still kind of in that weird funk, and it's not like a depression funk, it's just, I just don't feel like knitting as much. Now, that being said, I watched part of the Grocery Girls podcast recently, and I got an idea of something I want to make, so we will see. I brought yarn out for that. So it's also, everything I have is in my laundry basket down here, so it won't get dirty. So it's gonna be a little disjointed because I just threw it all in. So there's that. I have some FOs at the bottom, of course. They aren't that exciting, but they are FOs. Oh no! Oh gosh, guys, this is gonna be a disaster. Okay, so all my FOs are socks. I think I talked about this last time. I got a circular sock machine from Earl Bacher Knitting Machines. I'm still kind of figuring it out. I haven't figured out the ribber yet, but I will. I finally did take it apart and put it away because I was tired of it being on my dining room table. But it's not hard to do, so I think I'm going to avoid buying another table for it for now. and just when I'm ready to make a bunch of tubes, put it out on my dining room table, crank a billion sock tubes, and then put it away. So that's what I did. And so I'm just kind of slowly working through all of my socks. So the first pair, oh gosh, I hope the lighting isn't absolutely terrible. But these are from Moondrake. I think this was like her birthday yarn. So you can't really see it in this lighting, but it's sparkle, like confetti yarn, and then pink toes and heels. These are a little bit too loose, but that's okay. These might go to a family member for Christmas. Then these are actually my favorite. So I made some shorties. Sorry, the lighting is so bad. The lighting is terrible. It's okay. We don't care, right? You don't really need to see these colors that well. So these, I don't remember what yarn this was. This might have been Moondrake too, but I actually don't remember. So yeah, I just did it all in the same color. I really like these, they fit really well. These are a little bit tighter because I adjusted my tension on my sock machine. I'm sorry if you guys are hearing that breeze. It feels absolutely lovely to me. I feel like I'm in a wind tunnel, but in a good way. Okay, and then I made some Franken socks. So I have collected all of the ends of my self-striping yarn, and I just kind of mashed them together, which is kind of funny because I thought they would be like chunks of the sock, but it turned out that I basically had enough for one sock of each. So this was, I think this colorway was from Nomadic Yarns, and I think this one was too, but obviously the heels and toes and all that don't match. And then this was from Gauge Dye Works. This is one of my favorite colorways of all time. I think I bought like 4 skeins of it on accident. I think I forgot I'd already bought it. And I used that same stuff. So this is the pair. And I still have, let's see, so let me show you the next one I did. This is just a sock tube. But this is from Woolens and Nosh. This was the Advent socks for the last few years. I didn't do last year's. But so we've got this one, and then it transitions into another year, and then another year, and then another year. Actually, I think these are the same. Yeah, these are the same at the ends. But it's just a bunch of stripes from different years. And I don't have it with me, but I kept out a couple of like some of these extras, and I'm going to do the toes and heels with that, and I think that's going to be really fun. So they're going to be striped, but like chaotically striped, and it'll all be Woolens and Nosh, which is kind of fun. Oops, so just put those socks in the dirt. That's going to be fun. Okay, I'm just going to keep going through all the sock tubes. Some of these I remember, some of these I don't. This one is a hedgehog fiber sport sock, I think. And this one, because the yarn was a little thicker, I kept it at the same tension, and it's actually a really lovely thick yarn. Let's see, this one was Sorella. So it's one of her Taylor Swift sock tubes, and it's also sparkly, which you probably can't. You might be able to see that. I don't know. You can or not. Okay, this one's like a double tube because it's like, oh gosh, the lighting's so bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to change. This one is more of a peach color, and then the second half. This was woolberry fibers, and this was, is that right? No, this was the woolberry. The peachy one was the woolberry because I did I remember these now. So I did a naughty or nice surprise sock skein over Christmas, and I got the nice, and it was this really pretty blush pink with little flecks in it. And then this one was, I think, Little Fox Fibers has a Wes Anderson sock club, and so this one was Isle of Dog, which actually is perfect. And I got a little stitch marker that has a little paw print on it, so it was cute. And then this one, so this one, I think my mom watches this, so this isn't, I'm not ruining any surprise, but she requested knee-high socks for Christmas, and so this is the practice set. I just thought this looks kind of like my mom's colors. I think this was an Australian one. I can't remember. Woolworks. I think this is Woolworks. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna try that out and test it. And then this one I'm actually working on right now. This one, I don't remember who made this yarn or who dyed this yarn, but I loved it. I think this was one of my, is this one of my like sock of the year thing through La Mercerie? It might have been, I don't know. But it's just a really pretty, you can kind of see it there. Yeah. So this is the, ooh, don't get it in the dirt. This is the little mini that goes with it. So I just did a normal cuff, and now I've cut in for my heel, and then I'll do my toe, and then I'll do another cuff, toe, heel. Other way, heel, toe. This one's really fun. I'm enjoying this one. Okay. It's kind of trying to organize the laundry bin. Okay. This one, this is my next whip. This one, I feel like I've kind of failed on this, but I haven't. I still have time to redeem myself. So I am doing a test knit for Lily from Curator Knits, and this is her first sweater. I think it's her first sweater pattern. It's called the Curator, and I am behind. So it is this really pretty, I think it's called a contiguous construction. It's kind of like, it's the perfect like marriage between a raglan and a drop shoulder, I think, because it kind of has the look of a drop shoulder, but you still get to put all your sleeve stitches on hold, so that later when you come and pick up the sleeve, you don't have to pick up stitches, or you do a little bit in the underarm, but that's it. And then she's got this really lovely cable detail that kind of, it would look like a raglan, but it's actually got the drop shoulder placement, and so it kind of like runs underneath the arm, which is really pretty. It also means that you don't have to do a lot of cabling. The cable is very easy to memorize. So after like the first or second time doing it, I didn't have to look at the chart at all. It was very intuitive where I was in the pattern, so that was really nice. It's also got a really pretty shoulder detail in the back. So I am through the body. I started on one sleeve. The collar took me forever, but I think that's because I was just not in it, and so I was kind of, I would do like 3 or 4 rows a night and then work on something else. But I finished it, and now we're on the sleeve. For the test knit, I think it's actually coming out middle of this month, and to complete the test knit, I had to finish the yoke in one sleeve. So I think that's like my goal for this weekend, is finish the dang sleeve. I think that will be relatively easy to do, and then hopefully even get the second one done. I am using 2 yarns. I'm using Garthenor. I think it's, I don't remember what colorway it is, but it's like a pale gray. And then I'm using some Gepard Pure Seta, which I think is pure silk. But is that right? I don't know. It's a mohair silk. And so this I got in Copenhagen, and this one I got actually, I think I got this one at Rhinebeck. Blast from the past. I've got them in this cute fat squirrel bag. She has an update. Well, by the time you guys see this, the update will have already happened, so sorry. But she's got some really cool drawstring bags, which I really like her zipper bags, but the drawstring that she has for her bags is like ruler ribbon, and it looks really cute, so I might have to go on this. Man, I'm like speeding through this. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know, my brain's like, just get through it. Oh, guys, I gotta tell you. Sorry, this is a gross story. So I was out here pulling weeds last week, and I didn't have gloves on because it was kind of like, let's go out and look at the garden. And while I'm out there, let's start pulling some weeds. And before I knew it, I'm like pulling weeds for 2 hours. That's how it works. But I went to pull, and one of them had wrapped around my pinky fingernail without me realizing it. And I pulled, and it like ripped off half my nail. Like, ugh, it was horrible. So it was still attached, but it like, I use dip, and so it's a hard shell, and so it cracked the dip and started pulling it off, and my nail started coming with it. And it was like, I think it happened on a Friday, and I was going out of town on Saturday. My nail salon is closed on Sunday, and I had something Monday night, and so I was like, I'm gonna have to live with this for days. And so I literally like it never bled, which was kind of crazy to me because it ripped so far down on my nail bed. I thought for sure I'm gonna bleed, but it didn't. So I just put a band-aid on it and kept a band-aid on it for days just to protect it. And then the thing I was supposed to do on Monday got canceled, and so I managed to snag an appointment with her. And you guys, my nail lady is an absolute wizard. I love her so much. She managed to get the dip off of my nail without using a Dremel or a nail file, without causing any pain. I don't know how she did it, but she well, actually I do know how she did it because I watched her do it. She took the little snip things, I don't know what you call them, like cuticle cutters, and like chipped off some of it, and then got a fake nail and wedged it underneath and popped it off. It was like magic. And then she had to put like a tiny little tip on that just to protect my nail bed. And when she pulled out her little box of nail tips, she started laughing because I always have really short nails, and she's like, this is the only time I'm ever gonna put a tip on your nail. So she did. It's like a tiny little bit of nail tip on there. It was really funny. But yeah, so we picked a really fun, bright color. Anyway, but it's worked really well. It like doesn't hurt at all. I'm in awe of her. She's amazing. Okay, so the next thing, this has been the thing that I've been enjoying the most working on. Oh, sorry, that breeze. I'm sorry if that makes the sound quality awful. Where's my dog? Oh, she's over in the shade. Mailman. Sorry. Yep, that would be FedEx. That's cool. I will edit this bit out. That was great timing because one of our neighbors walked her dog by right when the FedEx guy was here, so we got all our barking out at once. And we're gonna, okay, don't bump the tripod, honey. Good girl. Yeah, you go lay down in the grass. Go eat some grass. Sorry. Okay, so this is a single crochet stripe blanket that I started, I don't remember when I started it. It was last year. And I'd forgotten about it. It was tucked away in this little bag in my little basket in my living room, and I completely forgotten about it. And I was looking for something else, and I found it. And the smart person in me put my hook in there in the bag, so I knew exactly what hook I was using. So I don't remember how I started this because I don't know how to crochet that well. But this is a very, very easy pattern to do. I am doing 2 rows of each color so that I end on the same side each time, and I'm just tucking my ends in as I go. And so let's see, this is a 3.5 millimeter hook. It's all fingering weight. So what I'm doing, let me see if I can find. So years ago, I got the Carnival of Color Club from Row 1 Yarns. So it was a monthly subscription where you would get, I think, 10 little bitty bumps of yarn. And it was nice because they would have the yarn dyer and the color weight on it. But I got this for, I think, a year at least, maybe more, and never used any of it. And so I literally have a basket in my living room full of these. So I've just been going through and grabbing some and then I can usually get 3 rows out of each one, and I'm just crocheting a row. So what I found is that it takes 3 colors, so it's 6 rows for 1 inch. So I'm almost at 10 inches at this point, which is kind of crazy. I think when I picked it up, I think I was like here. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows this week, or maybe the last 2 weeks. It's so pretty. I think so. I have 119 stitches because I don't remember how I started it, and I don't know if I thought I had more and I didn't, but it's actually just the right width for like a lap blanket. But yeah, so that's been like my favorite little go-to lately. I do have to look at it. I'm not a good enough crocheter that I cannot watch what I'm doing, but sorry, we're gonna think about crunching ice. But yeah, so I'm not good enough that I can just like do other things while crocheting, but it's still really, it's repetitive, it's relaxing, it's just like, it's scratching a different itch. So those are all of my whips right now. Like I said, the knitting mojo just hasn't been super strong. I feel it's starting to come back. I do. I think part of it is once I'm done with this test knit, I feel like I'm gonna be done with mohair for a while. And I actually pulled some yarn out of my stash that I want to make my next project with. So none of, well, okay, some of these are acquisitions. So if you're not an acquisitions person, this might be a good time to say goodbye. I should be back in 2 weeks. I should be back on my regular schedule next. I don't have any big things coming up. She says that, and then yeah, I think that's right. I think I'll be, at least the next one should be 2 weeks. But I have not been buying, let's see, let's not lie. I haven't received a lot of yarn lately. I did buy yarn in the Explore Knits and Fibers middle of the map update. I told myself I was not going to buy a sweater quantity, and then I bought a sweater quantity. But that one is like a 3-month turnaround, I think, 3 to 4 month turnaround. So I won't see that for a while. But I did get a few other things. So actually all of my acquisitions this week are sock yarn. So the first one is from the yarn jar. There's 2 of them from this, and this is Bubblegum Rainbow. I think I saw this on the Grocery Girls, and I really liked it. It's like all pastels with a little bit of like a neon-y, like neon pastels kind of thing, which sounds contradictory, but that looks really fun. And this is 460 yards. Dang, it's 75/25. So this will be one that I do by hand because I like doing self-striping. And then this one is Celtic Pride. I bought this before St. Patrick's Day, but I didn't realize it was a pre-order, so that's why it's just now getting, actually it got here 2 weeks ago, I think. So this is the same base. And then the last one I ordered, or the one I bought in person, this is Flower Crown from Nomadic Yarns. She is hands down my favorite self-striping yarn dyer, and this is, I think, gonna be one of my new favorites. I kind of can't wait to get this one going. I left my sock. I don't think I've actually made any progress on my sock. My purse sock, but that one is the St. Patrick's Day colorway from her. So this will probably be the next one I get cast on because I just need to know what these look like together. Okay, so the next one, this is the last thing I bought. So LYS Day, Local Yarn Store Day, was last Saturday. Oh man, there's a bug in my water. Probably good for me, those germs. Sorry guys. Anyway, LAS Day was last Saturday. I was out of town for a work trip, literally the entire day. It was a training for work, and it got done at like 1 o'clock, and our flight wasn't until 6 or 7. I think it ended up getting delayed to like 8 or something, because I didn't get home until after 9. But the Thunder played our final game of the first round of the playoffs, and we both sat in the lobby of our hotel on our separate devices watching the Thunder game. So I had it on my phone. I literally had a banana propping my phone up and was watching it on my phone and knitting on my sweater. I don't know why I told you that. It was just funny. I always joke that my boss is my work dad, and it kind of felt very much like a father-daughter kind of, like we're all watching the Thunder game kind of thing. But anyway, so I missed out on LAS Day, and so Rochelle from Mandrake Yarns had posted about it, and I was really sad that I was going to miss it. So I messaged her and asked her if she'd be open on Friday. She is on Fridays. She was not in the shop, but she has an employee named Keely, I think Keely, who, I don't think it's Keela, I think it's Keely, who's lovely, and she was there, so we went and shopped a little early. So I got her Pika Pika base in the sea glass colorway, and I got 3 skeins of it. So this is 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, and 20% rainy, which is a plant-based fiber. And it is 400 yards. So I got 1,200 yards. Is that math? Yeah, 1,200 yards, thinking I would make a t-shirt with this. Then I was watching Grocery Girls, and they mentioned the Alpine Bloom tee. I've knit one of those before, but I knit it for my mom for Christmas, and so I ended up not keeping it, and I loved it. It was so pretty. And so you need 3 skeins. It was actually in this yarn, I believe. And so I was like, okay, what spin cycle do I have that would work with this? And I had 2, and I thought maybe you guys could help me decide. So one of them I'm leaning more towards, but we'll just, you can help me decide. So I have 2 skeins of both of these. The first one is Every Rose. Oh gosh, this lighting's gonna be so bad. But you can kind of see it there. Maybe I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture in better lighting and put it up here. So the first one is Every Rose, and then the second one is Bright Idea, I think. Yeah, Bright Idea. This is the one I actually like a little bit better. I don't know why. I think, yeah, I'll put a better picture up here. So the greens, I think, like there's a little bit of this green in there, but not enough that it would like mask it. But this one, because the motif is flowers, this one's a little bit more pink in it. So I don't know. I don't know which one. This one also has like a really pretty chartreuse in it. I am struggling. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the next thing I cast on. I'm very excited about that. Okay. It is starting to get warm. It says it's 64, but it doesn't feel like 64. Maybe it's because I'm sitting under the sun. Sorry about the crunching ice. I keep forgetting. Okay, so I have been itching to buy more yarn lately, but I've actually had good restraint, and I'm proud of myself for that. I haven't bought a lot, like a big, other than the Explore Knit stuff, which again won't even be here for like another 3 months. And I did buy from Hello Stella, but again, that's a pre-order. Still probably gonna be a couple months before I get that. But I've been like craving summer things, and I have summer weight yarns, but none of them were like in a color I wanted. Like I wanted something a little bit more punchy, and what I had was very like cool grayish white. And then I was looking for different yarn that I still haven't found. I'm worried I threw it away, and I'm gonna be really sad if that happened. But I was looking for that, and I forgot at the end of last year, I bought one of my favorite yarns, Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, in the blood orange colorway. And I have a sweater's quantity of this. And I completely forgot I had it. So this is gonna be cast on soon. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. I think there is a really cool tee from Lily Kate France you guys said was great, so I might do that. And if it's DK, I'll just hold it double and make it work. Then I also found this, which I knew I had, but I kind of had forgotten. This is the cotton merino. I think this is dark ochre. So I've got that. So I mean, that would make a gorgeous tee. This one I think I would actually do single stranded, like actually find a true fingering weight tee, because I just think this would feel a little bit better in a looser fingering weight gauge. And then the last one is another one of my favorite yarns. I bought this color last year. I'll be honest, the color is not my favorite, but I'm gonna make it work. So this is Antigone by Durham Natura, and this is a 100% linen, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, 100% linen. It's a sport weight. And this color, what is this color? Mistral is this color. So I've got 3 balls of this. I made a plain yoke tee from Laynette last year in this, and I needed just under 3 balls, so I think I might do that again. I think the thing I didn't like about that tee is that the yoke was too deep, so I would modify that with this one and make the yoke a little bit shorter. But I'm definitely in full-on summer knits at this point once I finish my test knit. But oof, it is getting a little toasty, so I might pack up the knitting stuff. I might film a little. If you guys, I don't know if you're, I guess there's no point in asking you because I'm just gonna do it, but you won't have time to respond. But I might film a little tour of my chaotic garden and post that at the end of the video. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. But that might just be a fun little glimpse inside the chaos that is starting a spring garden for me. I hope you guys have a really good couple weeks. I hope you get lots of time for knitting or doing whatever it is you enjoy. I hope that you get time to spend with friends and family. I hope if you are in a really stressful period where you feel like you're the mole in the whack-a-mole game, I'm hoping that you get some time to catch your breath and relax and rest. And if you're the hammer in the whack-a-mole game, chill out. Chill out. Anyway, I will see you guys back in 2 weeks. Take care. Welcome to my garden, guys. We'll start with the door that only opens this wide. It's a hot mess, guys. So you kind of have to like shimmy into the garden, which was really fun getting my laundry basket full of knitting in here. So I have a couple clematis plants on either side. Sorry, I'm probably moving this way too fast. This bed and then these 4 are my old garden. That's used to be all that I had, and then in 2020 I added on those 4 beds. Actually, sorry, that was a new one as well, so it used to just be those 4. This one's not super interesting. None of it's really interesting right now, but I have some herbs and some flowers. Accidentally planted some rhubarb right next to a dahlia that I forgot was there, so that's fun. This one I'm calling my bed of chaos. This is a giant tarragon plant that just took over, and a little chive plant that's trying really hard to grow. I have another tarragon plant, so eventually I'm just going to cut all this back and put a tarp on it. This bed is empty except for the fennel plant that continues to come back every year. I think last year it got to 7 feet tall. You can kind of see the old dead stalk right there. This is where I usually put all my okra. So then we keep moving. I had mammoth sunflowers in here last year, and that's what most of these are. They just reseeded. But I did put a couple little tomato plants in here. And then I have a dill plant because I love dill and I will eat my weight in it. That is a little bitty blue spice basil. It's my favorite type of basil. It has kind of a vanilla undertone. And then I have another, where that stake is, I have another rhubarb. Probably won't get anything from that this year. So this is a giant tractor tire. My parents used to live out in the country, and my dad saw one of these, and he basically like cut the inside out, and so I made a planter out of it. This is a rosemary plant that has completely gone nuts, which I'm not mad about. Sorry, there are squirrels in the tree that are throwing things down at me. I have a little lavender plant that somehow didn't get swallowed by the rosemary, more chives, more fennel, a bunch of weeds. This is the first of the big rectangle plants, or planters. It's directly into the tree, and so it gets lots of little seedlings in here that I need to go through and weed. More sunflowers. I think what happened was I had a giant sunflower in this bed that fell into that bed, and so I have lots of little seedlings. Sorry, I think I just got bit by something. It's chaos out here, y'all. That's a little bitty, it's called a lettuce leaf basil, and they become like these mammoth leaves that are kind of spicy. These are eggplants, so I have several in there. These are cucumber plants that are just starting to trail up. More sunnies, and then this is asparagus that I have not been harvesting very well. More dill, parsley, a mammoth sage plant that has just decided to do its own thing. And then these are my tomato beds. So I don't have a lot of tomatoes in here yet because I thought I killed all my seedlings, and then they all decided to come back to life. This is a lemon basil. These are ancho chilies, purple basil, blue spice basil, regular basil. Can you tell I like basil? Weeds that I need to pick. And there's dill, bell peppers, I think. And then these are all my slicer tomatoes. Not all. These are the row with the slicer tomatoes. These are the ones I bought at the garden store. So like Cherokee purple I'm pretty familiar with and I like. The other ones I don't think I've ever grown before. I don't even remember what they are. Go over to this bed. So my jalapeno plant has already made jalapenos, yay. That is a tomato, there's a cluster of them actually that reseeded from last year. I have no idea what they are, but I'm happy they're there, so I'm letting them grow. More jalapenos, serranos, another little tomato plant that decided it wanted to grow right on the edge, and we're gonna let it grow. More dill. Shishitos are my favorite, so I have 4 of them. And then these are all boring cherry tomato plants that I got from the nursery because I thought I killed all mine. And then I'm pretty sure all of those tiny little seedlings are either tomato seedlings or basil seedlings. And then this is pineapple sage that smells actually like pineapple, and it's so good. And then there's the other insane tarragon plant. So, oof, it's got something in my eyeball. And these are all of my tomato starts that I thought I killed. They're obviously not dead. So I just have them in here hardening off. I have a little bit more basil back there. And then this is a jalapeno plant I thought was dead. Eggplants I thought were dead. I have cosmos, ping pong cherry tomatoes, and general chaos. Oh, and I also bought a tiny little solo stove you can make s'mores on, so that's fun. But that is the garden.